To be able to be born in such a natural way to what they have for millennia prior to existing with humans, it feels like the purity of their soul is kept intact.
You know, as far as our horse business, in the 80s, mid-80s, we started kind of thinking about raising horses. Just kind of went from there gradually over a period of time. And we had bought brothers and sisters to Frenchmans Guy before we had him, and they kind of got us started on this line of horses. We liked them so much just from riding them and finding out what kind of horses they were that we decided that hey, maybe we'll start a breeding program with this bloodline of horses. He was born in '87. The horse, he lost his eye, his right eye in a stall accident when he was a colt, and through fate or God's plan or whatever, we had to keep him. It just grew from there.
I wrote something about Frenchman's Guy in the past. There's a phrase that I found, I don't remember the writing exactly, but it says something along the lines of, because of his confidence, he feels no need to boast or brag because he has belief in himself. I mean, horses don't care the way humans care. They just do their thing, but some carry themselves in a different way.
You know, it's overwhelming sometimes. You can't hardly believe it happened. He financed the quality of mares that we was able to buy himself because as time went on, I think the stud fee on him was $300. And, you know, by the time he was at the end of his career, it was $6,000. We started out breeding like a small number of mares up to, I think, 170 mares a year is what we bred as he got older and got more popular. And I couldn't have drawn a movie deal that would have been any neater than what's happened to our family. I mean, our family has been blessed by that horse.
My parents have built such an incredible place here. As far as the structure of this specific area, it's hard to find somewhere that is so purposeful for working and starting horses.
Being able to see the accomplishments that horse had and did, and what a wide range of success he had. He was a blessing to our family, and he changed our lives. I'm Bill Myers from Myers Performance Horses. We're a family-run and owned business. This is my Equinety barn check. This is our Stallion Barn. We have a few of our sale prospects. We also got in here sale fitting for the sales this fall. And it's also the barn where we keep Mr. Sassy Frenchman, and his stall's right down here. This is Mr. Sassy Frenchman. He's a stallion, a 9-year-old stallion that we own by Frenchmans Guy and out of a daughter of Mr. Jess Perry. We've run barrels on him, roped on him. He's made about $50,000 as far as being competed on. We had a little stifle trouble with him last fall, so we had some minor stifle surgery done on him. Had extremely good results with that. We got that surgery done, and then we put him on Equinety for all winter last winter. I think he healed way quicker than normal from whatever the vets told us as far as the amount of time it would take to recover. And we've seen a big improvement in his fertility this year in the breeding shed. His motility increased from 55 to 60% to 65 to 70%, which is a significant raise in the motility of a stallion semen. And now that we're riding him again, he really moves good. We're feeling a huge difference in how he moves. We ride our own horses, and we learn things about them horses we ride as hey, we like this about him or we don't like this about him.
It's a never-ending learning experience, and the connection is just, it means so much. It's so profound. The things that can be communicated between man and horse, that it's extraordinary. I love it.
Okay, now let's go check out the Stallions in the other barn. This is another one of our ranch stallions. His name is I'm a Special Kind of Guy. He's a son of Frenchman's Guy and out of a daughter of special leader by the name of Meltaway. His first colts are running the fraternities this year, and we're real happy with the results we're getting from them. The brown horse here on my right is Cowboys Cartel. He's a son of Corona Cartel. out of a daughter of First Down Dash by the name of Dashing Folly. His mother was a world's champion race mare. His dad's one of the greatest racehorse sires there is. Now we're going to go over and look at some of the colts out of our breeding program. This is a 2-year-old Gilden that we're taking to the pink buckle sale. He's by our stallion that we used to own by the name of a Smooth Guy. He's out of a daughter of Dr. Nick Barr. That's a producer for us. She's had a couple other nice futurity horses, barrel futurity horses. We think this colt could do well in the roping. He's built to be a rope horse, so we kind of hope he goes that direction. But he's been a real kind colt. He's been real easy to start and ride this summer. Brandon started him, my son, and he's got a wonderful disposition, awful strong colt. This is our barn where we start our 2-year-olds, getting them ready for the sales. We use this barn a lot during the summer and spring. It's a real handy barn that we've designed to kind of just use to get our sale horses ready. This is our round pen here. We do a lot of the early stages of training in this round pen. It's a very handy tool that we use a lot, very important part of our training process. This is our tack area where we keep most of our tack. We have a lot of people that ride here, so we have a lot of tack. It's a real handy area. We saddle and unsaddle right here where these cross ties are, and it's just an area that we use a lot. This is our mare motel where we keep our mares and babies during breeding season. We don't use it much other than that, but it's during our breeding season, this is where they're housed and taken care of during the breeding season. On down here is our breeding lab. Our son Billy does the repro work for us here, and this is where we do the majority of the collecting and the processing of semen and the AIing of our mares. Stocks that we bring our mares into, each mare is individually put in the stocks and handled in there. Our lab that the semen is handled in and processed is right in here. We just have all the things that we need for handling semen and preparing it to be shipped or used here on the ranch. We're still trying to do basically the same thing we've always tried to do, is just raise really good horses that are competitive and that can go win at the highest level, or that the kids can ride. I mean, we try to have a diverse type of a horse. We still want them to look a certain way and move a certain way and you know, have good minds and be user-friendly as much as they can be. We experiment with some new bloodlines, crossing some new bloodlines once in a while to try to see if we can't make things better. I mean, we're always trying to make it better. And we've tried to do that throughout our whole career here, and I think we've done a pretty good job with it. We were the #3 breeders of barrel horses in the last decade. We've made, raised millions of dollars worth of barrel horses. We don't even keep track of the rope horse earnings. We've had, lots of good rope horses out there that'll win real big. And we just want to raise good products that are good-looking horses. We like pretty horses. We like horses that move good and just have an overall interest to try to raise as good a horse as we can raise.
The feeding program that my parents have sorted out it's second to none. It took me quite a few years to get out and go experience horses in other places before I realized why everybody, when they came to look at our 2-year-olds, would be like, that's a 2-year-old, and kind of baffled at their size and their just maturity. They got sorted out pretty well. And they're constantly looking for other things that might work and might help and might be more beneficial. So they're never done either.
Yeah, John contacted me last winter when I was in Arizona, and so we struck up a conversation about the product, and he told me what it did for horses, and I said, I know there's lots of good products out there, and I said, everybody says they have the best product. I said, but my deal is if I see results, then I believe in it. But I said, I've not been a person that'll get behind something that don't work, and I said, I want to see results. That's what makes or breaks me on whether I want to use a product or not. And I got wonderful results from the product fairly quick. Mr. Sassy Frenchman was actually one of the first ones. We were pleasantly surprised with the result we got in the breeding shed with him from the numbers in our collections And how he settled mares, how he seamanship, all that stuff seemed to be better than it had ever been. And so that was the bottom line. I got a bay head horse that we're taking to rope horse fraternities, and in Arizona last winter, he had a hock that was bothering him. It had filling in it all the time, and kind of struggled with some of his training there for a while. Just didn't feel like he wanted to use himself like I wanted him to. We put him on that product, the amino acids. By the time we got home here last spring, that filling had went plumb out of that hock, and that horse went to look, and his overall body condition and his hair coat, it just was phenomenal. I mean, the horse looked like $1 million. And that was probably about 4 months worth of using it. I could see a huge change in the condition of him, and then that hock deal, that's what really made me impressed with. I got rid of that inflammation in that hock.
My parents have sought after perfection in a way that encompasses every part of the horse's being.